Hi, welcome to Control and Compound with Darren Mitchell. I'm your host, Darren Mitchell, and with me today, Christina Wyatt, wealth coach at Control and Compound Financial. Hi, Christina, how are you?
Hi, Darren. I am super excited to be doing our first CNC update.
CNC update. I love it. So, CNC update, we're going to talk about dividend rates announcements and volatility. But first of all, what's CNC?
So, CNC is us, right? Control and Compound. So, we're going to take this time once a month. So, starting in June, starting for this month, to give a bit of an update on what's going on in the infinite banking world and other updates that we think might be beneficial for you.
Okay, so let's jump into the good stuff. A couple of the insurance companies, or a few of the insurance companies, have announced new dividend rates. So, a dividend rate is these participating whole life policies that have been around 100 plus years. Each year, they declare a dividend, and that dividend goes to grow your cash value that we can borrow 90% of, and it also contributes to growing your death benefits. So, really important. We want to maintain those dividends over the long run. So let's jump in. So Sun Life was the first one. I know Sun Life was paying a dividend of 6% the past year, but they've made an announcement with their new dividend rate. And what's their new dividend rate, Christina?
Their new dividend rate is 6%, so it remains unchanged.
All right, that's great news. All this volatility and maintain a 6% dividend. Now, what about Equitable Life? Equitable Life, they're 6.05. They also announced a new dividend rate. And what's their new dividend rate?
Equitable Life came back with 6.05 as well, so they remain changed too. Great things to hear.
Great news. And then Canada Life, they were down to 5.1% in the last year, but they announced, and I think they announced an increase. Am I right, Christina?
Yeah, so they've increased to 5.25. So again, positive, not as high as the other dividend rates out there, but positive news, seeing an increase there as well.
And then the last one, Manulife. Manulife actually doesn't announce their dividends until the summer. They're currently still at that 6%. They've been the last couple of years. And just a quick point on the dividend rates. It's not the only thing you should be looking at when you select which company to do. I mean, that's what we do on our end. We look at all the different variables, but there's 20 different variables, and the dividend rate is just one of them. So having a slightly higher or slightly lower dividend rate doesn't mean more or less cash value or death benefit. There's a bunch of actuarial stuff going on in the background. So just, we want those dividends maintained or increased, but don't get too worked up on slight changes between the companies because it's just one piece of a big picture that's going to affect your cash value and your dividend. What I love about the dividend announcement, no real surprise for us because the last 150 years it's been the same story. Consistent, slight changes each year, but no massive volatility. And when we look at volatility being one of those wealth destroyers, we want to make sure we're putting this money in the infinite banking policy in a position that's not going to be volatile. So on to volatility, Christina. Now, what about some of the other places people are parking their money? What's going on with the volatility in those markets?
Well, unlike what we've just seen here with this announcement, right? So these announcements are done. This means they are done for a complete year. It's been decided. It is what it is. It's what it's going to do. It's not going to go now that the dividends been paid. These dividends cannot be taken back. So what's done is done. Now, when we look at what's going on in some of the other markets and the stock market in particular, and we look at what 2022 has brought us, it has brought us a lot of ups and downs. It's been more than a bumpy ride, I think, for some investors out there, right? It's a scary place to be almost. People are losing sleep at night watching it go up and down. Not so much like this where we see the dividend rate. It's done, right? So we don't have to worry about that anymore. But with our market volatility, we definitely still have people tossing and turning, I would imagine, with what's going on in that stock market today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainty in the stock market right now. Um, you know, Are we going to see a massive correction? We've seen quite a correction already. Is the massive correction going to happen later this year? Is it going to be next year? When is it going to happen? We haven't had a major downturn really since 2008. Historically, we've had those roughly every decade. So we're kind of overdue if we look historically on the next correction. And we could spend all day talking about all the different things going on in the world that's breeding this uncertainty. But bottom line is people are a little apprehensive about the stock market. Same Bitcoin kind of following the same path. Great. We still think it's a great long-term investment, both these vehicles. But Bitcoin's taken a massive drop year to date. So we've seen the stock market and the Bitcoin really drop. Now, what about the other one we deal a lot in? What about the real estate market?
So real estate and what that market's looking like. So it's been great. Obviously, we have seen it. We have seen it over the last little while with that appreciation that we've seen right across Canada in all markets. But again, when you see that type of appreciation, it does make you wonder, right? What's going to happen? We hear those, we hear those words, real estate bubble that's coming up. Is it going to burst? That kind of stuff. So you've got that little bit of volatility. I myself am pretty comfortable in the real estate. I like the real estate market, especially when you hear those words like inflation, because I'm not sure how you feel about it, but for me, definitely, I think that real estate can keep up with inflation. It's one of those things that can fight against inflation for us because, no matter what, you're still going to need a place to live, right? So real estate works in on that side of things. But again, with the market, I do not have a crystal ball, and I can't tell you what's going to happen next.
Yeah. So when we're talking about the stock market, Bitcoin, real estate investing, I've got a favorite in there too, and it's real estate investing because again, historically, thousands of years we can look. That's where millionaires and billionaires have come from. And if I think of 2008, the people that really struggled with the downturn in real estate were the people that were pure speculators, the people that were just not being educated, not buying right kind of properties the right way, and they were just buying, assuming everything's going to continue to go up because that's the way it was for a few years. Those people suffered, whereas the people that bought cash flow positive, least cash flow neutral, had a plan. The people that didn't sell their real estate in 2008 it worked out great for them long term. So I'm not worried about real estate long term. Could we see a flattening? Could we see a correction? One of the things Christina and I do every day is we talk to clients and prospects across the country. So and most of them are real estate investors. So we get a really good feel on, different pockets of the country, what's going on. And we are starting to hear some flattening, the increase in interest rates concerning to a lot of people. So where that's all going to shake down, time will tell. But if we go back to, Bitcoin and real estate and the stock market, great places to really invest your money. But what I love about the infinite banking concept is that's the place you're going to save and store your wealth. So you're going to save and store it in a place that's not volatile. Then when when those opportunities come along in the volatile market, with those volatile markets, you can take advantage of those opportunities. Anything else on the real estate, stock market, Bitcoin front, Christina?
Yeah, just to say, not saying that these places are not great places to invest, because historically, if we look back, they have gone up, right? The stock market does go up, the real estate market does go up. They're a great place to invest. But like you said, are they a great place to save or store your wealth to be able to take advantage of opportunities? I know I've said it before and I'll say it again. The deal of a lifetime happens when you have access to money and somebody needs money. And when these downturns happen in these other markets, this is the perfect time to be able to, go back to your wealth, go back to your savings and take advantage of some of those things that pop up in the market for you to create longer and more wealth.
Everybody loves a sale. So everyone loves to take advantage of a sale. Well, what if the stock market was on sale for a 40% discount? Real estate was on sale for a 10 or 20% discount. Bitcoin was on sale for a 50% discount. Now, all investors would want to take advantage of that sale, that opportunity. And really, again, going back to the infinite banking policy, that's where we're storing our wealth. I call it my opportunity fund. I'm building the opportunity fund. So when that sale comes, I can take advantage of those opportunities. So I guess the word we're looking for, Christina, I'll let you wrap up here, but what's the key word that this all boils back to?
Well, if we go back to that first podcast and the first word in our name, control, right? You need to be in control of your money. And when that market's down, 40%, you are not in control of your money. You want to be in control during a drop and during a high. So control.
Control. Love that word. Most important word in the English language with respect to money, I believe. That's the CNC June update for 2022. Look for the next one in about a month. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you always know when new content is coming out. For more helpful tips and tricks, visit our Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok pages at Control and Compound. If you want to reach out to us directly or work with us, visit our website at controlandcompound.com. The links are in the show notes below. See you next episode.